Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is Joe Shoup with our special guest, Jennifer Ashby. So welcome, everybody. And what we'll need to do is we're going to do a microphone check. If you could type in the box and let us know that you can hear us okay. Jennifer, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to be on the call again. Make sure you let Joe know if you can hear me okay as well.
You have about a 20-second delay in this, so I just put a note in there. People should see that. And I see good morning, Cindy and Marianne and Shirley and so on. Good morning. Hey, Joe. So let us know again, type in the box. Can you hear us okay? So Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm excited to be in this call. Joe, I love whenever I get the call of you asking me to be on Breakfast Club. It's always exciting because I never know what we're going to talk about. We just kind of, speak from the heart, and I always have takeaways from it as well. So I'm glad to be on the call today.
We're glad that you're here. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning, Jen. How are you?
Good, Mark. Good morning.
Okay, we have a little bit of an echo now. I don't know where that's coming from, but let's just double check. Okay, let me see if everybody's saying, I can hear you, Sherry Young. Yes, both of you. Good. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, well, we talked about this in the email about setting or resetting priorities, and I can just look back in the last couple of weeks, couple of months. We restructured a little bit at the Breakfast Club. We told you that we were going to work personally, and that we basically talked about having the Breakfast Club on Tuesday mornings, which we're doing now, or for the East Coast, it's Tuesday 12 noon. And so, Mark, before we bring Jennifer on, why don't you tell people about your reset? What Mark basically told everybody weeks and weeks and weeks ago was that, that he was going to do what he does best, which is meet with people. And, again, he's reset some priorities. And so, Mark, why don't you tell us what you're doing now and the things that's happening for you and the results that you're getting? And then we'll move on a little bit.
Okay, well, basically what I decided to do to have more fun is do less online and more offline, even though I'm still continually doing online, but I'm out talking to people, as Joe and I have done in the past years, on what we call belly to belly. I have more fun that way. So, and I am talking to people, and basically, I'm telling them, about getting involved in the greatest transfer of wealth that mankind has ever known. And my question to them is that I don't ask them would they, I ask them this. I say, is there any reason you wouldn't want to be a part of this? And then, a lot of them say, well, yes, and then I basically go from there. So the point is that, and I'm also doing numbers. In other words, what I try to do is minimum of three every day, and it only takes a few minutes. So it does allow me to get back home to my office to do the online. And I'm really starting to get hits and also inside and outside. So I do that because the combination of them both gives you a different flavor, and it keeps it active, and it keeps it. I'm having fun, and you've always heard me say, this business should be fun. It shouldn't be stressful and whatever. So, but you have to know the certain things. You have to know how to be a connector. You have to know, you have to know the terminology, and you put all that together, what we teach here, on the Breakfast Club, and you just do it. The bottom line is WORK, work. If you have activity, if you have work, you can have a lot of fun. And now I have people starting to join both ways. And I've got right now about 10 people that I have to work with. I'm working with about 5 of them, and it looks like I just got an email from a guy a while ago, says that I am interested. I'm a little busy, but I'll call you later. And I figure I'll probably sign this guy up, and I already know his background, so I look at him to be a VIP coming in. So those are the things that you can do, which is what we have always been teaching on the Breakfast Club.
Mark, what about email marketing? Now, let me just go over a couple of things. One is that a lot of people do email marketing. What I mean by that is they have leads, whether they are people they know or people they don't know, and they send them information, put them in an autoresponder, which we'll be talking about in a minute. But you're doing something with that as well as outside. As you said, you're coming inside and working, and you are from a list that you use. You are sending information for people to actually take a look at our company. And you send them a couple of different funnels, probably the couple of new ones that we're using, and you're getting results with that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I design my own emails, and I put a little graphics in them. I like to make them shorter. Joe has taught me some things about making them shorter, and so I do it right to the point with some graphics in it. And I send it out. Like the other day, I sent out 600, and I've got now it's up to 10 from the 600 that have actually responded and went into the funnel. So those are the people that I'm contacting, and then when I contact them, what we learned in the communication class is exactly how I talk, and it gets results. So I'm working with those people, and today is only Tuesday, so by the end of the week, I expect to have a pretty good week, Joe.
Yeah, and let me just go over a couple of steps here. Number one is, this is what we believe here. We believe that there are 4 steps, and there's more than that, but 4 initial steps, and that is registration with your company. In our case, it happens to be Karatbars. The next step that we want is we want them to have a marketing tool. And that means registration. In our case, it means Tools Rock. Jennifer Ashby is with us here today. She's the CEO and founder of Tools Rock. And many people in Karatbars use this system. And we encourage people to use it, to tell your team, and to use this system. Why? Well, it's our story. We're telling the story. Jennifer created websites, created funnels, created the training rooms. I mean, we work together doing these things, and so we know what we have. So the step is registration, which is free with Karatbars, and then get your marketing tool in place. Your tool consists of an announcement, basically, an autoresponder, like what Mark is using. People send out this website, this marketing funnel, which means a website that has a capture page that is filled out. Once it's filled out, you get the notice, and as they move through the funnel, you continue to get notices telling you where they are in their investigation of our company. And that's what Mark is using. That's what he's talking about. And number 3 is that they actually register for our communication class. Now, a lot of you don't know what that is. Some of you do. Some of you have been through it. We have somebody on the call today. I'm going to have her on next week. We talked about it yesterday. It's Cindy Valentine. She just took the class this weekend, and I'm going to let you tell her story, what happened after taking that class. It went from basically not knowing what to do to no results to now having, like Mark, a bunch of people who, A, she knows, and B, she doesn't know. People she's finding, people she knows from Facebook, people she knows as friends and family. And it's working for her. And why? She's going to tell you next week. Her stance has changed. Her position has changed. Yes.
And Joe, and let me say this. People need to take advantage of what Jennifer Ashby has helped design here, the language, the graphics, and everything, because it's phenomenal. It gets people's attention. And she's always talked about, not being stressful and, like that, and being interested in other people and everything as opposed to yourself. And all of those things you can see in here if you just really take a look and use what she's helped develop, because, I mean, it works. I mean, she's been in this business a while. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to make it work. She takes things that other people have and make it even better. She did that for us. And all we have to do is just use it, and it'll work. That's all I can say about it. It works. And thank you, Jen.
So the 4 things are the registration with Karatbars, Tools Rock, and then register for the communication class. And number 4 is that you set your cash to gold account. In other words, exchanging cash for gold at least 1 time per month. Starting to get an echo. I don't know why. So it is cash to gold. Take your cash and convert it to gold, but go in your back office and set it for a automatic once a month, at least once a month deduction. Now, as we go along, and not today, but plenty of people teach the 12-week plan, doing it once a week, and certainly that's an option. But they're the 4 things that you have to put in place right away. So, without further ado, Jennifer Ashby is not only the founder and CEO of Tools Rock. Jennifer Ashby has not only is a successful businesswoman in our industry. Somebody has their microphone, or probably a little different than it used to be. I'm echoing like crazy. Can somebody help me with that? I don't know who it is. And let me turn my mic down here and see if I can change that. That has changed for me. Are you guys hearing me echo?
No, you're not echoing, Joe.
Okay. I kept repeating in my ear. All right. So, Jennifer is a successful business owner. She created Tools Rock. Now, the way she created Tools Rock is that she was in the network marketing industry, and she was one of the top people in the company that I belonged to a number of years ago. I didn't know her at the time. I only knew of her. So she took that experience, becoming one of the top earners in that company, and then created a marketing system for the affiliates, because one did not exist in that company. She created that, and it turned into today what we know today as Tools Rock, and it's been very successful with us. So Jennifer Ashby, welcome to the Breakfast Club. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Joe, for that introduction. Can everyone hear me okay?
We hear you, yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, Joe, I'm just inspired here for a second. I love these 4 steps you just stated. Let me make sure I got them down correctly. You said register your free account, sign up for your tools, your marketing system with Tools Rock, take the communications class, and then make sure that they have an automatic set from turning their cash to gold every month.
Yes.
I love that. This is not the topic we're going to talk about today, but the last time I was on, we talked about being high directive. And just every time I'm on these calls, although I'm on, for a specific purpose, I always put myself in the shoes as everyone else, Joe, Sherry, Shirley, Ian, everyone else that's on the call that I see chiming in here in the chat. I always put myself in your shoes as a distributor, as an affiliate in Karatbars. And it brings me a lot of peace to know, okay, good, I have these 4 things to do. Done. Check. Got that. And having leadership that is high directive, having a process that's high directive meaning whether it's you who've been in the company for a while or the new person, clear steps on what to do. That's so important. Otherwise, we can flounder, and we can flounder very easily. So after this call, Joe, let's talk, because maybe let's create something that can help individuals understand these 4 steps and put them in place very easily and get into action. Because in Tools Rock, something we always do is we say, what's that new person that just joined doing? What are they doing right now? And I can ask Cindy, Larry, everyone on the call, I can ask any one of you, if you're a new person joined today, or Mark's been enrolling a lot of people recently. Mark, if you're a new people joined today, they registered their account, they got their marketing tools set up with Tools Rock, they attended Joe's communication class, and they had their automatic cash to gold every month set up, would you feel with confidence that they're set up for success?
Yes, but there's still more to do. But yes, my answer to that would be yes, because they have everything in place.
Well, that's the foundation, right? Absolutely. There's action. You have to get out there and share with people, and you have to take action. But oftentimes we see people taking frivolous action. They're just throwing spaghetti at their wall, running around, doing anything they can to build a business. But if we can help our affiliates take high directive, productive action, that all starts with having the good foundation. And that's what this is about, Mark, right? So when I say, if you're a new person, just came in, they had their account set up, they're signed up in Karatbars, they have their marketing tools, they have the communication class, and they're turning their own cash into gold every month. They're getting their own testimonial, right? They're getting the results for themselves they want others to have. If they have that foundation, they're then more prepared to build their business. Would you agree with that, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. We all know that building starts with the foundation. It starts with thinking first, and then it starts with building that foundation. And in our opinion, this is the way you start. We don't notice that we didn't say to people, register and then go, and I'm probably going to catch some static for this, but we didn't say go immediately and set up your gold savings account for once a month or once a week. We didn't say that. We know what happens when people do those kinds of things not knowing what they're going to do. I could give you example after example, and I'm not saying you take a month to do it. I'm just telling you that you need to get your priorities straight as to where it is you're going, that foundation. So yes, it's that is the foundation. That's what we need, is to set the foundation.
Absolutely. And to me, it sounds like there's really two steps. It's create your foundation and build your business. And, we hear a lot of people saying, share the product, share the opportunity. But, you said something earlier, Mark and Joe, you both said this, it's work. You have to W-O-R-K, work, because it's a business. And I think if everyone, creates that foundation and takes the action to build their business, then there you go. You have success. And Joe and Mark, we can talk more about this after the call and maybe share in the next few weeks when I come on. But we should have a process in place for that. I think that there's two simple steps. Really, to be able to say to somebody, we have Mark, you're meeting with people face to face. Guys, one of the great things I love about the tools we have that we built for Karatbars and ToolsRock is they're for online marketing, but they are absolutely also for meeting somebody face to face. That was actually one of my favorite ways to use the tools when I initially started building marketing tools. I used them with my warm market. I used them as I sat across from somebody, because it only took me one time of somebody looking at me and saying, "This sounds so amazing, but I can't do what you do." And I realized that it's not about me. It's about how can I support that new person, that shy person, that intimidated person, that eager person, anyone. How can I support everyone across the board in getting started, knowing what to do, and having success? And it comes down to having a system for duplication, a marketing system that everyone can use with a consistent message, right? And then allowing their personality to be the icing on the cake, letting them connect, and letting that connection be the gem, right? So when you're building with warm market and you're showing them, let me show you how you can do this, right? Because back in the day in network marketing, it was, is this a pyramid scheme? Is this legit? You don't hear that anymore. Today it's, can I do this? How can I do this? Is it possible for me? And to be able to say, yes, it's possible for you. I would love to build Karatbars and to say to somebody, after I share with them why there's this transfer of wealth and what they can do about it, to say to them, we have two steps. We create a foundation and we build our business. And we have all the steps in place for you to do that. It's easy. Two things, right? You build your foundation so you know how to communicate. You have all the marketing tools you need and you are set up. Then we show you the tools to build your business. And that's where it comes into the inviting emails you have, Joe, the scripts, different processes they can follow and ways to get eyeballs onto their website, whether it's face-to-face or online marketing. So I love this two-step process. Create your foundation, build your business. And if everyone just came onto your team, set their foundation, and took action to build their business, you're going to get duplication. And it's really all about making it high directive and keeping it simple. So I love, Joe, how you started the call off with just that foundation, because with that, you can build a big house, right? But you got to have that solid foundation.
Cindy, if we can get Cindy type in for us just a few sentences on the foundation that you now have. And just type it in. Don't worry about it. Just take your time. We'll see it when you get it up there. But just type in a few sentences. What happened? Where were you before? And then after this weekend, where are you now? I know, like I said, we're going to have her on next week. We rarely do that, but I want to bring Cindy on because this is a perfect example. If you take hold of the information and you get yourself structured in that foundation, things will change for her. She is ecstatic about how she can talk to people now, Jen. And yes, she has ToolsRock. She's given them information, but 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, she's had some meetings in the last couple of days, in the last 6 days, and She has completely turned around the foundation of her conversation. And she had to hold back the other day, she was telling me, when she sat down. Her natural urge was to blab and to say, oh, yeah, but you'll see how great this is. And that's now changed for her. And she's getting responses now because she is following the pattern now. So I wanted her just to type some things in so she could see. But next week we're going to have her on, and you're going to see some, an amazing little story.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what she types. And Joe, I'm sure we can all relate to this. If anyone on the call has been prospected, I get prospected all the time. At Tools Rock, we are not in any network marketing companies. We support network marketing companies, but we get prospected all the time. And the other day, somebody called me, and they're telling me about their business, and they went on and on and on. And they were talking about their business and why it's so good and what it's done for his wife and what it's done for him. And he never once asked me anything. Like not even if I was open, because obviously I'm not. I'm not in the position to join a company. But we could have spent our time better by me telling him, hey, I'm not in the industry. I serve the industry, but I want to hear about your company and what you're doing, right? And there's a way I could serve him or support him and his team. And it eventually got to that, but it took a long time because he just kept talking and talking and talking and blabbing everything about why this company is so great, what the difference is made in his life, the results his wife got on the product, blah, 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 blah. And I got to tell you, I sat there and I was like, wow, even if I was open, I wouldn't join this guy because I don't feel acknowledged or heard or anything. What is this about? And we're in a totally different, demographic as well. Like he's an older gentleman. His wife is in her 70s, and he's telling me what's happening to her. And I'm in my 30s. I'm not thinking to myself, I think the results he's even sharing didn't speak to me. He's like, oh, her joint pain. I'm like, I don't have joint pain.
Jen, that reminds me of the statement. I'll bet you if I asked you right now, this isn't a statement, but I would bet right now if I asked you to tell me 5 things that he told you on the call, you probably couldn't tell me. And the reason is Jennifer was probably so distracted by the process that was going on and not listening to the content. And, just because you're talking don't mean they're listening. And that's the lesson that person has to learn. Is that just because he was talking, it didn't mean that Jennifer was listening. Chances are she was distracted by, the what was going on, and her thinking wasn't in the space where where it needed to be for him, and that's because his process was wrong. His foundation. Had he gone through the class, let me tell you something. He would never ever have done that had he followed. And that's the kind of things we teach in the class. Is to understand who you are in that process.
I love that.
And that's what most people fail at when they pick up that phone, is they don't know who they are and they do what this guy did. And they'll do it when they're out. We have an event coming up in September where people will all be getting together for the end of the summer. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, I guarantee you people are going to ask you what you do, and you're going to sit and blab and have people mentally running away from you. That's what's going to happen because you don't know how to handle the questions that come up to say, hey, how's that going right now with that company? Are you with some gold company or something? And your first instinct is going to say, I got a prospect, instead of, how can I really serve that person? Jennifer has taught me a lot in the last couple of years that I've known her, and that serving. I know Mark and I talk about serving people, but it wasn't until I heard Jennifer talking about service that it really struck home on how to service people properly. And I'll tell you something, you've got to get educated yourself. You've got to know the answer to every single question that comes up without stumbling when someone's asking you about your company. And you have to know the process, the 5 steps to that conversation, knowing that when they ask, you get a question, you answer the question, and ask another question to take you in the direction that you need to go, which is either getting them more information, getting them over to getting them over to a director, or getting them to registration.
Hey, Joe and Jen, here's another thing that to kind of piggyback on what Jen said, because it reminded me of that when she said she was talking to the guy on the phone. The funnels and everything that she developed, it gives something that's very important that we all need and need to know, and that's education. It's about education too. And if you have those funnels and tools rock, and when you go through them, you get educated about what your own product is, what you're offering and what you can do, and it's all in there. And that's a very important part. You need to be educated on what you have and what you're offering. And a lot of people still are not educated on that. So Jen, if you will, I'd like to hear your comment on that.
Uneducated on what they're sharing?
Yes.
Oh, well.
For example, one of the funnels, the second page, it tells you about the goal, the product that we have to offer the public and everything. And it also shows you how you can actually get on there and talk to a person on the phone, and you have the information right in front of you, the education that you need to give them to get them interested in what you're doing. It's there.
Absolutely. And it's like anything, right? If you have a car sitting in your driveway but you don't know how to drive, it's not going to get you where you want to go. Right? So it's the same thing. If you have the funnels, right, you have the websites, but you don't know how to use them, you don't understand what they are, what the different pages are, you haven't taken the communications class, which is going to give you even more confidence, then you're prepared, but you're not taking action. So you have to take action on them. One of the first things I always recommend people do when they get their funnels is go through it themselves. Go through it with fresh eyes as if you're a potential affiliate with Karatbars, as if it's somebody who you want to share with. And then you have to think, what does this person want and what would they want to know? How can I support them? Like you said, Joe, how can I serve them? Because, with Tools Rock, whenever I talk to a leader in a network marketing business, my intention is never to sell them on our product. It's just not. Because the last thing I want is somebody in our business who's not happy, right? My intention is there a way that I can help this leader serve their team better? And if there is, then we can talk. But if there's not, have a great day. Keep doing what you're doing, right? But if they're not open, what's the even point of having a conversation? Right? So I just wanted to, I want to go on with what you said, Mark, but I wanted to just address that, Joe, what you said about the intention. My goodness, how many of us get on the line and we've all done it, and it's okay. It's the awareness to realize we've done it, and the awareness to realize it's been done to us, and then to choose something different. But how many times have we got on the phone with someone and they're just blabbing away about their opportunity, or how many times have we done that perhaps, where we're just talking and not listening and thinking about what we want to say next? And oftentimes people's intention when they're talking to somebody is on selling them, or oftentimes their intention is on getting them to like them. That's another one, and it's dangerous, right? I want this person to like me, right? But if your intention can be, I'm telling you, this makes it so much easier. Here's a little mantra for everyone. When you're nervous, be of service, right? I know you've heard me say that, Joe. When you're nervous, be of service. But if your intention, when you're talking to someone, if your intention is not, I want them to like me, I want them to buy from me, I want them to join my business. If your intention is this someone I can serve? Do they have a need for this in their life? Are they open to creating some change in their life? Right? If your intention is just to determine that, or perhaps increase their awareness to a place where they are open, then you can go to step 2, which is sharing what you have to offer. But that step 1 is so important, guys. And you'll hear I said raising their intention to, or raising their awareness to be open. I was on the phone with somebody the other day, and right away, she said, I'm just really not interested in something like this. And I said, well, what is it that you feel will not serve your team? And she knew nothing, but she wasn't even open at all. So if someone's not open, why would I tell her how great our company is? Why would I tell her what we could even do? Right? What I did was made it about her. What are you doing that's working? That new person that joins, that just joins, what's the first thing they do to get into action? I started asking her questions so that her awareness could shift to a place of, well, yeah, you know what? Maybe I could make this better. And then from there, I can do the, well, what if you had blah, blah, blah to offer your team, and A, B, and C to offer your team? And then she could be open, right? So Maybe it's a matter of when you're talking to people, if they're not even open, raising their awareness to a place where they can be open, right? So, but yes, once you're in conversation with somebody and you're through that initial phase of they are open, they do want to learn more, you have to know where you're pointing them. You can't just throw them on a website and say, go check this out. You let them know, I want to send you to a website, and it's going to have 4 different pages, or whichever funnel you're going to send them to. I want to send you to a website where you're going to watch 2 videos, and what you're going to learn on that video is what is going on in our economy, what the exchange of wealth that is taking place, how you can benefit from this, and exactly what you can do. Would you be open to learning that and to experiencing that? Yeah, okay, great. So send, and Joe, I don't want to say too much, because you guys have your process there, but being high directive, letting people know what they're going to learn, you knowing the funnels yourself so that you can tell them what they're going to get. Not where you're going to send them, but what they're going to get, making it about them. Guys, it's so important. And when you can drop that intention of, I want them to like me and join me, and have your intention on, is this someone I can support, your whole posture shifts because you're not desperate, right? You're serving.
Jen, a couple of months ago, we created a funnel called For My Friends and Family.
Yeah, love that one.
And the second page to that, meaning when one fills out the capture page and moves forward, it's 3 minutes in the beginning with a video that grabs their attention or not, but let's assume that a person says, oh, I want to see more. Then they go to the second page. Jennifer sat with me and asked me questions. The structure of that page is hers. Some of the words in there might be mine, or we took things from the company and put statements in, but she knew exactly what to do with that page. And the topics or the tabs on that page, when you get to the second page, is the home page with a video and some words. Thanks for coming back and that. And then it goes how it works. Know your gold, how it works, referral income, and the company. There are 5 tabs in there that show what a person needs. Why in the world would anybody explain all that in words without directing them to go there themselves? We're looking for people who can follow directions. So when they go to that second page, when you contact them, because when you get that lead, that person who filled that out, and call them, you should be on that second page. Now, that second page is also now in the new funnel created by Lloyd and Jennifer. This page that is, it's
Gold Group System.
Gold Group System, yeah. So on my site, it's joeshoop.goldgroupsystem.com. The front end funnel is different, but the second page is exactly the same as Friends and Family. I think we changed some videos back there. We changed from some pictures to videos, but it is still the foundation for what you need to discuss if a question comes up. Now, we teach people not to say a whole lot, but a person has gone through those things. I listened to a call last week. Let me just say this. Your goal when you register and get yourself set up with your foundation, your goal should be learning how to serve others. How do you do that? You become what is known as a director. I don't mean officially labeled as a director in Karatbars. I mean one who directs. When you three-way someone into a person, an upline, or someone qualified, that person should understand that they must direct this new prospect, this new candidate, to registration. And it's not turn that page on and read everything from the page. It's just little helpful hints on that page that get you to registration. I heard a call not long ago, and on that call, you brought this up, Jennifer, they were asking questions, teaching people how to do that call, and asking personal questions about their goals and their dreams and everything else. Now, I can tell you right now, if someone called me up and either singly or three-wayed me into somebody, and they started asking me about my career and what are my goals and what have you ever accomplished. If they did that without my permission, I am hanging up the phone, at least mentally. I'm not even listening. I don't even know these people. All I did was fill out some information and said, hey, give me some more. I don't want to go tell a stranger. I haven't even decided to join the company, and I'm going to sit there and tell people all about my life and what my goals are, what I've accomplished in life. That's not the time to do that. And our process of moving someone to a three-way or a director call is to find out specifically, what have you looked at so far? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If the next 5 look like the last 5. In other words, I'm trying to find out if we have ambition. Do we really have someone? That statement, that one question, and that statement from them will tell you whether they're interested or not. And at that point, you can ask them what they do, how long they've been doing it, where they see themselves in 5 years, and then tell them a little bit about our company. If you don't know how, in 30 seconds, to say what this company is, something's wrong with your dialogue. Not do what they did to Jennifer and blab for 15, 20 minutes about how wonderful and the product and my wife and how everybody's getting better and you should be doing this. That's not it. It's here's our company. We're looking for people who are honest, ambitious, and work well with others. Our company's been around for so many years, 4 years. The company itself is in the e-commerce field. We're really looking for someone who wants to learn how to have a successful business from home. Does it sound like you, Frank? Okay, then we'll get you registered, and then you'll go through the training process, and you'll see. So I'll ask you this final question. With a little coaching and training and a lot of support, can you see yourself doing what it takes to learn how to be successful here at Karatbar? Can you do that? Yes. We'll get you in training and we'll do it. Now, do you have any questions for me? That's where the questions come back. And if they say, well, tell me all about your comp plan, guess what I do? I say, sure, that's not a problem. You get paid in our company in direct proportion to the effort you put forth. You'll learn all that in one of our compensation plan videos in your training. So we'll get you over there tomorrow. Do you have another question for me? I am not explaining comp plans, and this is what Jennifer's talking about. This person went on and on and on about everything. And it is not your responsibility, even as the director, to do that. Your job is to direct them to registration, get them in the training as quickly as you can, and then once you do that, you start that bonding process. You can ask after that about their goals and dreams and where they want to go. They've made the commitment to join the company. Now it's time to help them and service them, teach them the steps to getting started, show them how to get in place here, put themselves in a success position. Other than that, you're not even going to hold on to that person for 2 weeks. I've had it happen even recently, where a person just didn't pay attention.
Absolutely. And you know what else, Joe? I love everything you just said. And something else that I personally like to do, and I love when it's done to me, is communicating the path or setting the expectation. I like this when I go to, imagine anything. I go to buy a car. I go into a restaurant. Anything. My son, okay, my 5-year-old son, we dropped him off at camp today, and he really didn't want to go to camp, right? So, and it's this really cool camp. They have Legos, and they build all these great things. So I said to my son, let's go to camp, and let's see what they're making today to determine if you want to stay or not. I didn't say, no, you have to go, sit down, go there, do it. I didn't force them. I said, let's go and see what they're making today, and then you can choose if you want to stay and if it's something that interests you. And then when you get home from camp, Papa will take you to the pool. You guys can go swimming for a little bit. And then after that, you and I can finish building the project that we're working on, and we can do that for maybe an hour or so, and then we'll have some dinner. And after dinner, we'll take a bath, and then we'll go to bed. Does that sound like a good day? And he's like, yes. And next thing you know, he's calm and he's okay going to camp because he knows what to expect next. Because we're no different than 5-year-old kids, right? I mean, and we want to know what's coming next. We want to know what's ahead for us. So if you say, and I say this when I'm on the call with some of our leaders, what I want to do is first, I tell them straight up, my intention is to determine if there's a way we can support you. If there's a way we can empower you in supporting your team at another level. That's my only intention. So why don't we start by you telling me how things are going with your team, what your process is, what that new person does, and then I can share with you if there's a way how I think we can help you. Does that sound good? And they're like, yes. And then we move from there, and they know what to expect. If this guy I was talking to the other week said to me, so what I want to do is tell you a little bit about what people have been experiencing on these products, and then tell you how I'm working with my team, would that work for you? I would have said no, right? And even if I was interested in a network marketing business, I would say, no, before I hear about what people are experiencing on the products, I'm really interested in what are you doing to support your team? Right? And he probably would have said, great, let me tell you. It would help him better, and it would help me better. We're in communication. It's a two-way flow. It's not this, let me talk to you. It's let's connect and find out what you need. When we first connect with somebody, or even ongoing, like as with my 5-year-old son, we have to always find out, what does this person need? And am I fulfilling that need? If not, like Joe said, they just shut down. They're not even listening. You're wasting your breath. You're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. So setting that expectation, right? Creating that communication path. I love doing that, and I love when someone does it to me. It makes me feel safe. It increases the trust I have for that person and the trust in their competence, and it goes a long way when you're prospecting.
Jen, let me just read what Cindy put in here. She also sent me a message in a text. Cindy said she can't see what she wrote. I don't know why that's true. Shirley also put in here that your mic was cutting out. I don't hear that. You're fine on my end. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. Okay. But we're at the bottom of the hour anyway. Okay, but here's Cindy. I've been in several network marketing businesses in the last several years and never made any money. I listened to the Breakfast Club, heard about the class. Listened to Joe tell someone how to get in touch with him. I emailed him and joined the class. Not once, but twice. Yes, she took it for the second time this weekend, and that was the second time in 5 days. She did it and then did it over again. She took advantage of the $30 that was available until August 1st. And so she took that class, still for half the price it would have been normally for both of those classes. And so we'll get her next week to talk about, exactly what took place for her. But I can tell you the foundation of it is that she didn't know how to talk before. She blabbed and told and said and did exactly what this guy did to Jennifer because they thought that telling was the way to go. And the truth is, we motivate people by 4 things: friendship, curiosity, need, or greed. In our business, it's either friendship or curiosity, and sometimes a combination of both. And that's what motivates people. It's not about how much money and how the product has done this. And look, everybody knows gold. Everybody wants gold. Everybody knows gold is valuable and precious and the best thing to have to secure your future. Everybody knows that. So there's no need to tell people that. I mean, there's no need to go on and on and on about the price of gold and how it's done over all these years. Yes, we have videos and educational things for that. That's fine. But that's not your job when you get on a call with somebody. They should know that, and they can research it themselves. Your job is to find out, do we have a match? How can we serve you? I mean, it just occurred to me, Jen, on the director call, something I never have done. And now I think I'm going to shift gears a little bit on the initial part of it to tell someone, look, here's my job today. Now that we've connected here, and in fact, the very first question that we ask when someone introduces me, if you brought a 3-way to me and said, Joe, this is Cindy, Cindy, this is Joe, and we tell a little bit about it, this isn't about all this. Like, if they introduce me, I do not want someone sitting there telling my history, how much money to, $40,000 a month. I don't want to hear that. I don't want them to hear that. That's not important to those people. What's important is one statement. Joe has been successful helping people be successful in this home business arena. And Joe, this is Cindy, and Cindy has done this. She's looked at that. I think we have a match. I thought you might have questions for Cindy. That sets the tone for a slight interview. But I think that might be important, Jen, to say, after I asked them this first question, Cindy, what is it that Jennifer told you and said to you that caused us to get together? In other words, what do you know about our company so far? After she says that, it might be a good idea to say, well, let me tell you our objective here. Let me tell you what I'm going to tell you. You know that old story. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. I mean, that's important in a presentation. And so therefore, it might be a good idea to say, well, here's where we're going to be on this call. I'm going to explain to you our company. Our goal is to see if we can service you, to see if you and I have a match and get you to a place where you can get further educated and learn more about our company, kind of like on-the-job training. We'll decide if we have a match later. And we do say that at the end, but in the beginning it might be a good idea to tell them the direction that we're going. Here's the purpose of our call. Here's the reason that Jennifer brought you to me.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what we're going to do. So, what do you currently do? How long you been doing it? Where do you see yourself? Here's our company, blah, blah, blah. And then move on from there. I think it's a good idea, Mark. I like it anyway. I love this.
Yeah, that sounds
I love
great.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think if any of us take it, they think about a personal situation, whether it's business, personal, anything in life, yeah, it feels good, right? I mean, even if you're driving a car, you don't just get in a car and say, okay, you know, we just recently or drove from North Carolina to Houston, and we didn't just get in the car and say, all right, let's just head west. You know, we had a plan. You know, we knew where we were going. We knew where we were going to stop overnight. You know, we knew what to expect. And then you can enjoy the drive. You can have some peace in it, right? So it's just like that, you know. When you're talking to someone, letting them know what's going to happen next. I mean, it's like when you watch a movie. If you went to a movie theater and you said, gosh, I have no idea how long this movie is. Maybe it's 2 hours, maybe it's 4 hours. I don't know. You wouldn't enjoy the movie as much as if you sat down and you knew it was going to be an hour and 45 minutes. So it's all about expectations. It puts you at ease, and most importantly, you can be more present.
Hey, Jen, I want to make a comment here. We should probably just say this now, because Sherry Young just said that I was cutting out as well. Mark called me this morning to let me know that Webinar Jam is doing maintenance, and that's probably what we're experiencing. So I apologize for that. And with that said, let me say this. Jennifer, thank you for being here. We will do this again so that we don't have this cutting out. But Webinar Jam is doing maintenance on here. I'm surprised actually that we're on this long. So we better wrap
it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah. So Mark, first of all, again, Jennifer, thank you not only for today, but the support that we get from you, your imagination, your creativity, you know, working with you has been the best in any marketing company I have ever been with, to actually get the owner, the creative thinking person behind all this and say, Joe, let's create something, and here's what, and I remember being on the phone and even recently building these new ones, getting questions from me, and right in front of my eyes, here comes the funnel. Joe, how does this look? Joe, what if we say this? Asking me a question, say, okay, then let's say it this way, and watch it on the screen develop. It's an amazing process to be able to have that done, and honestly, it really is. And don't forget, in Tools Rock, the process that started this month was, if you are in Tools Rock and you actually have 3 active people in any subscription, yours is free. So if you want your marketing system for free, all you have to do is share it with 3 other people, and yours is absolutely free.
Definitely. And if anyone has any questions on that, you can email support@toolsrock.com. And we can help you make sure you understand that process. But it's not one of those things where we charge you and then refund you. We don't charge you. You get 3. Yours is literally, it's free. We mean that. So I would love to see everyone take advantage of that and get your marketing system for free.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, Marco, over to you, and we'll wrap this up.
Okay, thank you, Jen, for all the information. Breakfast Club family? Somebody had something else to say? Oh, okay. Breakfast Club family, let's go out and make it a great day. Share what we have. Bring people to the Breakfast Club so they can get the education and so they can be of service to the people that they want to be of service to. So that being said, peace and blessings to you. Go out and make it a great day. This is Mark Stevens for our host Joe Shoup and our guest Jennifer Ashby. Peace and blessings, everyone. Make it a great day. We'll see you next Tuesday at noon on the Breakfast Club.